All right, the church has taken Paul into custody. Or should I just call it the religious people, because the church is identified by Jesus Christ. Anything else that doesn't respond like Jesus Christ, we'll just keep in mind to call them religious. So I'm going to try to do that. But these are the people that God had called who were split, Pharisees and the Sadducees. And they had such an uproar that they took a man with the word of God, the religious group of people named Paul, and had that man arrested for nothing. All right, let's get into chapter 23. All right, Paul this is talking about what is going on with him, because he spoke up for who Jesus is. And Paul, earnestly beholding, looking at them, the council looking around, said, "Man," and everybody else, "I have lived all good conscience before God unto this day." He said, "Hey, listen, when I made my mind up to live right, I meant it." And the high priest Ananias commanded them that stood by him to hit him on the mouth, smite him on the mouth. And this is the person with the highest level of, he said, the high priest. Then Paul said unto him, then said Paul unto him, "God shall smite you, you white wall, for sitting and dead people in the grave." Crazy. I mean, I'm just saying. For sittest thou judgest me after the law, and commandest me to be smitten contrary to the law? You sitting in that chair with the law, knowing that you don't have a right to hit me, command somebody to do something that's against the book that you are supposed to be upholding? And they that stood by said, "Revilest thou God's high priest?" Then Paul said, "I didn't know, brethren, that he was the high priest. For it is written, Thou shalt not speak evil of the ruler of thy people." Now, when that man hit me in my mouth, knowing that he got the place of the high priest, I was wrong to say to him, you shouldn't be hitting me like that, because God gonna hit you. But understand me, I ain't know he was a high priest. But when Paul perceived that the one part was Sadducees, one religious part, and the other, come on, y'all, let's stay with this word. We got to get mature in the word. This word works everywhere. Got to teach people more than the same old. Teaching people everything. Teach us. Okay, I want to take it right there. This is a continuation of all right. He said, okay, got it. And then you see what I was saying. But Paul perceived that one part was Sadducees and the other Pharisees. He cried out in the council. He said, "I'm still talking, men and brothers. I'm telling you, brethren, people. I am a Pharisee, the son of a Pharisee, of the hope and resurrection of the dead. I am called in question." He said, I'm a part of you. At least part of y'all, not the Sadducees, because Sadducees do not believe in resurrection. They don't believe that anybody can die and get back up. That's religion. And when he had said so, there arose a dissension between the Pharisees and the Sadducees. Oh, he on our side. He's still wrong. So you got the one religion mad at the other religion, and the multitude was divided. So now Paul said, okay, you got one part going to listen, because the other part too mad, because they think that they are right and they are not. For the Pharisees say that there is no resurrection, neither angel, nor spirit, but the Pharisee confessed both. So the fight now, Paul said, I confess, I'm a Pharisee. My daddy was a Pharisee. And there arose a great cry. Ooh, the loud got louder. And the scribes that were of the Pharisees part arose and strove, saying, we find no evil in this man. At first they came together against him, and then when they found out Paul was a part of the Pharisees, they said, back off or leave Paul alone. But if a spirit or an angel has spoken to him, let us not fight against God. So the Pharisees trying to take up for Paul right now. And when there arose a great dissension, the chief captain, fearing lest Paul should have been pulled in pieces of them, commanded the soldiers to go down and to take him by force from among them and to bring him to the castle. Paul going to the castle. Folks so mad. And the night following, the Lord stood by him and said, Paul, be of good cheer, Paul. For as you have testified of me in Jerusalem, so must I bear witness also in Rome. He said, you got to go to the book of Romans. You got to go to Rome, Paul. And I'm going to stop right there because the plot thickens. This word is to be read. I was reading Hebrews 6:1 that says, stop teaching people about they got to be saved and they got to be baptized and they got to have their hands laid on them and then about the resurrection, teaching them about the resurrection and then teaching them about going to hell. He said, you got a church full of that kind of knowledge. That is the beginning of knowing God. He said, why these people don't know the details of who I am? He said, get mature in the word and know all of it. It's very easy. So let's stay in the word. He did not say don't teach Hebrews 6. He just said, teach these people everything. I left every single thing I wanted your minds to understand and know. We'll be back in further instruction from God according to Acts 23, starting at verse 12. I'll be back.